Hi, I'm Charlotte and this is the School of Pattern Cutting. In this how-to video, I'm going to show you how the Madame Grès tunnel sleeve works and also how you can draft the pattern inspired by it. So, a most basic tunnel sleeve is a piece of fabric, which is literally a square folded over at the shoulder, a neck hole cut out, and then the sleeve stitched together. And then, in theory, if you made out a jersey, you could just throw it on and you got a really nice tunnel sleeved, relaxed top. But I think a problem, if you make it out of any woven fabric, you can see how it stands up. You look more like a sort of 1980s robot. And you also get sort of quite a lot of weird sort of too much fabric basically. And if you turn it round as well, it's a really solid back. It's really oversized. So if you look at what Madame Grès, if you remember the image, what's very clever is it's actually quite fitted around the shoulder and then it goes into the tunnel sleeve. And when she's also at the bottom of the tunnel sleeve, she sort of curved it and made it a bit higher. So she can actually, the waist is quite fitted and then it goes up into the tunnel sleeve. So I think she might have actually put in some shaping at the waist. So like maybe a twin dart or something. And she's definitely created some sort of very clever one piece sort of negative pattern cutting at the shoulder. So if you did it really basically, you would just basically put a seam in here and then you can just reshape the shoulder as you want to. But I think what Madame Grès did is that she left as one piece, but then she created like a dart shape in here, which went straight into the shoulder, and that dart shape enabled you to gather the shoulder. So you get a really fitted, if I sort of drape it on, if I show you. If you fit the shoulders, you've got a lovely fitted flattering shoulder, and then you've got a gather, which is sort of pulled into a dart at the front and the back, which gives you a tunnel sleeve, but it defines your shoulder better and it moves the volume of a tunnel sleeve down rather than it all being like a Robocop at the top. So now I've shown you how the tunnel sleeve looks. I'm going to show you how to draft it. So let's draft this Madame Grès tunnel sleeve. The first thing I've done as usual is just traced around my basic bodice front. You actually don't need the darts for this one because there's just a bit of shaping happening at the top, but apart from that it isn't that fitted. What you could do if you wanted to have it a bit more fitted, I would put in just a dart here, and you could always move your bust dart down here and have some twin darts. And if you want to find out more about sort of advanced dart pattern cutting, such as twin darts, check out our Darts Essential course in the description below, which gives you all the methods on how to do it. But for the Madame Grès tunnel sleeve, I'm going to keep it really basic. I would then make a trial and see whether I want to do some more shaping down here, because I think sometimes if you have a big sleeve, you want your bodice to be quite flat and fitted. And also if you, depending on the size of your bust, you still need a bit of shaping, I think, otherwise you get weird gapes and stuff. So for this sleeve, I want my shoulder line to be on folds. So my whole top is one piece rather than two pieces, the front and the back. So I need my back bodice piece and I need to draw in a fold line. So to do that, I want my fold line to be at 90 degrees to my center front. So I'm extending my center front. And for your proper pattern, you would have a massive piece of paper. So you have your whole front and your whole back. But because I'm working on a small screen, I'm just going to show you how to lay on your back bodice, and then you would just extend it further on. So what I want to do is have my fold line here, but I need a little bit of gap so I can get into where I'm doing the shaping later on. So I'm just going to draw my fold line 0.5 centimeter above my high shoulder point. And extend it all the way. So this is my shoulder line, and then here I've got 0.5 centimeter at the front. So this is my line. I'm going to go in and create like a dart really. Like I'm going to shape my volume, but this time I'm shaping around my shoulder. And then I just need to match up my back bodice, and you can see it's slightly different sized, but it just needs to be the same distance, and then I can work the rest out. So you can see I've now drawn out my back and front bodice, so I know where to create my little bit of shaping. So what I now want to do is draw in the depth of my tunnel sleeve. I want it to really maybe be not twice the same size of my bodice, but maybe around the shoulder. So I'm gonna sort of see this is 18 centimeters, so I want it to be double the width, which would be 36. And I might even bigger, I might make it 40. So I'm gonna draw in the length of my sleeve and mark my massive cuff. And then if you remember from your Madame Grès picture we had, it then sort of quite subtly shapes back into the waist and is worn with a sort of cell fabric belt. And the waist looks slightly gathered, so you might want to change this into gathers. It's really flattering. So I think it looks something like that. And as you can see, my bust has disappeared because I've got a lot of volume there. But depending on the size of your bust, you need to then move it down here and create some shaping. But I'm going to concentrate on the shoulder for now. So I could just make my top like that, just cut out my neck, and it would be a really nice oversized tunnel sleeve, quite kimono-like, but it would create lots of draping. I quite often don't like all the sort of gathers you get. So I'm going to use this distance to create two darts which are sort of gathered in. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, mark the depth of my shoulder. And then I'm going to create two, I'm going to 1.5 centimeter deep darts here and here, which are then going to go back into my shoulder above the dart, into my armhole above the notch line. Yeah, so these are my shaping darts. So it's like a bust dart, but happening at the shoulder. And then I'm going to connect them. This is where the magic one will happen later on. What you need to do is change this into a gather. So I'm going to draw in, well, I have just 0.5 centimeter seam allowance. I'm going to draw it in, and then I'm going to cut it out to show you how that pattern will work. And this is basically creating sort of a gathered sleeve. So it's a bit like a puffed sleeve, but it's within quite a loose top, so it hasn't got a big effect, but it just about lets you add a bit of shaping on a really oversized top, so it has this sort of nice contrast, which I always like. I think you need to somehow define that you have a figure, but then play around with it. So this is my very complicated looking pattern, so I'm going to show you how it all works together. So I've cut out the pattern so you can see a bit more clearly how it's going to look like when it's put together. So my shoulders, the first thing I will do is stitch together my shoulders. And then you can see I've got this excess of fabric on the sleeve, and then that just gets very gently gather it into here. And it won't be that much together if it's on like a wall, but if you just create a bit of shaping you see on the image. So it looks very complicated, but as you can see, it's actually quite a simple pattern, and it will just create a bit of interest on like what's otherwise the oversized tunnel top, and everybody will ask you how you've made it. So it's a great pattern to try out, but whatever you do, enjoy your drafting. If you have enjoyed this video and want to take your pattern cutting to the next level, please sign up to our free Darts Essential course. It has fantastic video tutorials and lots of diagrams. If you're interested, please click in the description below and sign up for free.